Man, it's late. I meant to record this much earlier, but I was distracted by things, watching like, oh, what's that group called? Animal Lando VTubers. Yeah, it is what it is. So it's a good thing I have, like, is this caffeinated? Watch this not be caffeinated. Yeah, of course ginger ale is caffeine free, right? But whatever, it's got a shit ton of sugar. That'll get me through the morning? Oh, it's definitely in the AM, that's for sure. But yeah, I was watching that, like, I don't know the names of any of these VTubers because I can't read Japanese, surprisingly. But, oh no, my mouse pad I normally use. One moment. I was watching the guy who's like a cat boy, and he has like this super cute little hat. And he's like smoking with a cigarette. Super cute design, like kind of has that Gap Moe thing going on where it's like, he has like a slightly deeper voice than what would be like characteristic of how cute the design is, but then he also has like the tired eyes and he's smoking, and the hat that he wears, which is like, those elements scream like pseudo masculine, so the super cute SD design like kind of makes you go like, oh no, he's cute. Oh, is what it is. But whatever, we're gonna continue. I think like Roswell stormed out or something because he's a bitch, and we're still looking for the library, right? Yeah, I think that's where we're at. It did leave me with two options, though. I could check with the guys at the pool or see what Haas and Orlando were up to. Master Dave. Oh, hello, Benson. How are you? How are things? Fine. Thank you for asking. How fares the search? Not too well. I was just in the museum trying to figure out if there were floor plans or maybe something as a clue. Have you questioned your friends yet? Oh, no. Only spoke to Roswell, but that wasn't very helpful. Not that I asked him about it directly. Ah, well, the day is still young, Master Dave. Now, if you excuse me, there's much work to be done. Ah, but before I do, Oz wanted me to deliver you something. Oh, how come? You will grow tired of me saying this, but it comes down to loyalty. Suffice to say, he entrusted me with something to pass on. Oh, like presents? No, Master Dave, it is not a physical boon. Boon? I know I've heard that word, and people have used it. But bitch, I don't know what it means. So today, we're Googling. Meaning. A thing that is helpful or beneficial. Well, okay then. So it's not a physical boon. Okay. Oh. Information. Just something to keep in mind for later. Alright, lay it on me. Bring your flashlight. My flashlight? I'll provide adequate batteries for you if you need them, and leave them in your room before dinner if you so wish. Oh, that's how you know it's late already. I probably shouldn't be drinking soda. Not because like it's sugary and it's late, but because it kind of like dries out my throat. And that's probably not what I want when I'm like reading this much, but that's okay because I do have a bottle of water, so we'll set that on the other side of the desk. Easy, I can do that. Very good. Now, happy hunting. I watched as he wandered down a side corridor and out of sight before wading up weighing up what I should do next. There was still some time before lunch, so depending on how long I check in with either group, I might not have a chance to check in with the other. Well, I mean, we on the Dean path, right? I don't regret it. I swear. I don't want to hang out with Haas. Yeah. I don't know, like, Dean's a bit too physical for my taste, I guess. Like, not into all of the cuddlings and the kissing. Not my cup of tea. But look, I'm sure that's someone's thing, so I understand why this character exists. Kind of was hoping he would just be like a little flirty, and that's as far as it would go. But we're way past that at this point. Sal, Tyson, and Dean were all hanging around by the pool, so I figured I'd see what they were up to. Plus, I wanted to make sure that Dean hadn't fallen asleep in the hot tub. That seems like a recipe for disaster. Look, I've fallen asleep in a tub before. It's fine. I didn't drown. I unlatched the gate and wandered on in, looking around. Sal seemed to be enjoying himself in the water, as per usual. Dean was in the hot tub, as I expected him to be. But with how tired he looked, I was hoping he didn't plan on having his nap in there. That seemed dangerous. Ty, however, looked happy as could be, sprawled out on a deck chair. Was he soaking up the sun? What sun he could? Was he even awake? Hey guys. Oh, whoa. Ty sat up suddenly, looking around before his eyes settled on me. Oh, it's just you, jeez. Did I wake you up? He's been asleep for a little bit. To be honest, I was expecting Dean to be the one asleep, given how he's looking right now. Later, dangerous to fall asleep in a pool, or even the hot tub for that matter. Weather ain't bad. Could just soak up some sun and get a nap in, whatever. I'd much rather my own bed. Suit yourself. Sun baking is best at the beach or on a nice rock. Really? But all that sand though. Yeah, the beach is fine, but the sand is killer. It gets everywhere. I haven't been to the beach in, well, years. Would have been happy to go to the beach, would have been happy to go to the beach instead of this mansion, but you won't hear me complaining. Not yet, anyway. Oi. Ty got caught up with... got caught... Where's caught? That's not even in the sentence. What am I looking at? Things. Ty got up from his chair and made a break for me. Grabbing me around the middle and picking me up. Should throw you in the pool for that one. No, wait, please. Alright, calm down. It's not safe to run around the pool. Plus, Dave doesn't look like he's got anything else to be wearing if you get him all soaking wet. At least right now, anyway. Yeah, please don't throw me in, Ty. You sure you don't want to go for a swim? Not right now. What if I jumped in with you? Later, Ty. Fine. Tyson put me down and wandered over to the hot tub with me in tow, sitting just around the outside and dipping his feet into the bubbly water, gasping at the temperature change. Sal wandered over as well, but opted to just stand nearby. So, how are things been for you guys? Good day so far? Been an easy one, although I'm for sure getting a nap in after lunch. I'm bushed. So far so good. How about you, Dave? I was just in the museum, looking at stuff. Running to Roswell, you know. What did the Onker have to say? Tyson. Sorry, habit. What did Roswell have to say? Well... Me, huh? Yeah. Did he say what the deal was? To be honest, it seems out of character for him to just go all in. I'm fine with it. I'm not. How bad was it? He said Tyson couldn't love anyone, that he couldn't have nice feelings. Pretty much. That's pretty bad. Should I talk to him? No, it's all right. I got an answer out of him as to why he was being a jerk yesterday, though. Was it a good reason, at least? Well, I think the overall concern was how much time we have left. What, alive? Well, yeah. I think I can understand that a little. Doesn't give him an excuse, however. He can be mindful and respectful at the same time. So what, he's worried about dying? Sort of. It's more about, getting even. Well, shit. Does he want to get a few punches in, or what? To be clear, it's still up in the air if he's actually, if he'll actually do anything, or even, what he wants from you, Ty. I've been curious about this for a while. What did you do to him as a kid? Hey, that's not... I was a fucking jerk, Sal. You seen any movie with a school bully? Basically me as a kid. Shaking down nerds for lunch money, messing with them, taking it too far. Got examples? Hey, Dean, he doesn't... Sure, held Dave down and shaved him once. Like, I know that got mentioned earlier, but, like, it's still fun. That's pretty funny. My hand went to the patch of fur that he really dug in with the clippers, thinking back. But why? That's, why does any kid do the shit they do? Don't get me wrong, I don't like that I did it to him these days. I nodded slowly, looking at Dean, who seemed to be struggling with the concept. You really regret it? Hands down, and got Dave to thank for a lot of good that's happened to me lately. Wouldn't be here without him, yeah? Well, him and his dad. This is a lot to take in. What do we even say to that? Look, all I'm saying is I get where Roswell's coming from. I'd be a hypocrite if I couldn't take what I dished out, yeah? If he wants a free shot in, then I'll let him. That's going overboard. I got limits, but if it'll help him to get his shit together, why not? That's very big of you, Tyson. I got my reason for wanting to be better. Don't think I'll be able to look him in the eye if I stay a little shit forever, yeah? Look who in the eye? Tyson keeps his eyes elsewhere, not wanting to look at me. Not to be a downer, as I wouldn't mind continuing this conversation some other time, but it's about time for lunch, isn't it? At least I'm getting hungry. Probably about that time, yeah. Should we head in? Sure. Alright, let me go rinse off in the shower, and I'll be good to join you. Mind coming with me, Dave? Want to have a chat about something? Oh, okay. I took Dean's towel from him as he went inside, and soon enough I heard the water running as he called out over the divider. So, should I be getting jealous of you and Tyson? Wait, why? That's a no then. 'Cause sounds like you and him are pretty close. Closer than just friends anyway. Just Ty, huh? Pretty much. So I don't need to be worried about dating you both as a complete package. I laughed as Dean reappeared, and I handed him the towel so he could dry off. No, it's not like that. Win him over, maybe, but I don't think you need to date him to date me. Well, good. Yeah, this isn't Clifford's route and the smoke room. I don't know, I kind of don't like Murdoch in that route. You know, like, I kind of thought it's like, oh, it's going to be about, like, Samuel and Clifford's relationship. And then they're like, nope. Fuck them both. Samuel will do it. Is what it is. Well, good. Dean held his towel and at the end of each hand and threw it over his head so it could hook behind his neck. With a gentle hug, he pulls me in as gives me a quick kiss on the forehead. Come on, let's go get some food. As a group, we wander back into the manor, with me lingering in the back with my thoughts. All in all, it was a good seeing them getting along, but there was still something else I needed to potentially ask. So there's no way that it's Tyson. I can't see it being Dean. I'm gonna ask Sal. Yeah. Hey. I reached out and tugged at Sal's shirt, him slowing enough to fall back behind the two, not paying attention to us. Yes? Sorry, I just, a question. Okay. It's going to be an odd one, just so you know. Alright, what is it? Have you ever been here before, Sal? Sal? You know, I was thinking that I might have, maybe. Really? You know, I'm gonna ask Dean, actually. Does he say the same thing? I'm curious to see if, like, whoever you ask does. But I wanted to ask you a question. A question? Should I be excited? No, nothing that's exciting, really. Probably for the best. Still, what's on your mind? It's a bit odd of an odd question, so have you been here before, to the mansion? Can't say I have. Why? Oh, Benson said one of us, I was looking for something. Okay. Then yeah, I do want to... I will go to Sal. Really? Something about this place feels familiar. I just can't place it. But if I had to guess, I wouldn't say I had. Maybe a house similar. Oh, well, that's alright. Sorry. Is there a reason you wanted to ask? Benson said one of us has been here before, so I don't know, just figured it'd be worth asking. How did that come up? Oh, I'm looking for something. Well, it's sort of like that anyway. Something important? Important enough, at least I think so. Well, I hope you find it. If I can help, let me know, but otherwise, I'm probably not the one to ask. That's alright, it's all good. Now, lunch. Right. I held the door open for Sal, and the other two wandered inside to meet with the others. But by the time we had all filed into the dining room for lunch, we all looked at one another, wondering where lunch was coming from. Had we not decided this beforehand? Still, in my mood of wanting to do more, I wandered into the kitchen. After all, I may as well have a turn at... I will as well as have a turn at some point, right? Lunch. I looked around the kitchen, wondering what I could make. I hadn't exactly told anyone I was going to make lunch, but that should have been the expectation, right? The loaf of bread I'd picked up seems good. Sandwiches were lunch, right? Sandwiches. I must have zoned out. I could smell the bread in my hand, and I thought back to lunch at home, to breakfast before toast had been made. Dave, are you okay? He's got bread. Sal, not now. Bread. Sandwiches, right? I gestured to the loaf in my hand in vain, momentarily forgetting if bread was a necessity for sandwiches. For lunch? Yes. Yeah. Did you need some help? No, I've got it. What do you want on them? Peanut butter? I don't mind peanut butter, but can I have, well, I prefer PB&J if we're doing sandwiches. Oh, I can do that. See, Dave is helpful. He knows things. I'll go get what you need, Dave. Call it out if you... call it out and you can be the head chef today. I'm gonna get the bread. But I have the bread. You can both have the bread. No way one loaf is going to be enough to feed everyone anyway. It was pretty basic, but after I was cutting off the bread along with the loaf Sal brought over, I assembled it all into sandwiches and brought them into the dining room. Sandwiches! Can't beat a classic, thanks. Dean sounded tired, but he could take a sandwich and sat down, eating a lot slower than I thought I'd seen him eat before. Ty wandered over and snatched up a sandwich before sitting down a few seats down from Dean, biting into a sandwich. I must have had too much peanut butter on that one, as he started eating it with a lot less gusto and chewed a lot longer on a second bite. Haas came up next, taking a sandwich and taking a bite without bothering to sit down. Roswell took his sandwich much like Tyson did, without a word, before sitting on the other side of Dean. Well, thanks for the sandwich. Sorry, it's a little basic. Hey, you took initiative and made something. Doesn't matter if it's something fancy or basic. You made an effort. I chuckled, embarrassed, but held on to a sense of pride welling up in my chest hearing Orlando say that. You got the bread? Sal, I don't think... Oh no, he's being literal. We walked in on Dave with a loaf of bread in his hands. Is that not what you saw? Is that not what you say when someone goes for their goal? And Dave's goal was just bread? For sandwiches. Oh, honey, no. Orlando and Sal took a sandwich before I sat the platter that carried them down. Taking one for myself, I stayed standing, looking around as I ate. What was I going to do? Who was likely to know where the library was? Who was it that has been here before? While I remember, who's on dinner duty? Please, not me. Guess I can again. Even though you were last night? Well, someone's got to do it, and Dave did lunch, and any other takers? I'll do it, assuming I get a nap in. Might need some help, though. Roswell, you able to give me a hand? I, suppose so. Should we plan what we're going to have, then? Well, let's see if we can find Benson first. If he's got dinner sorted, then we won't need to do anything at all. If I see him, I'll let him know then. Once we'd all been fed, I took the platter back into the kitchen and wandered over to the foyer. Everyone else had wandered off for the time being. I didn't even pay attention to where. Not that any of them had stuck around to see what I was up to either. Well, now what? I guess I could, huh? Oh, no wait. I didn't notice Benson until he cleared his throat, just standing off to the side. Ugh! Is everything alright? Yeah, everything's fine. Although, yes? Still no luck finding where I'm meant to be going tonight. This is unfortunate. No new clues for me? Regrettably, I'm unable. You shall have to question your friends at on this one alone. Oh, all right. Apologies, Master Dave. I have faith you'll think of something. Thanks, Benson. Shall I give you some space, Master Dave? Yeah, okay. I think I know where to go from here. Then I am glad. Oh, but, Benson. Yes? Thanks. Think nothing of it. I watch as Benson wanders off over to the corridor back towards the kitchen, leaving me alone in the foyer. I look up to the stairs to the first floor, frowning. I felt bad about confronting Roswell about his behavior yesterday, when I was in the museum and wanted to go check in on him. Roswell? He didn't look up from his book, but he looked troubled all the same, gesturing me closer. I sat down next to him on the sofa, waiting for him to make the first move. With a sigh, he closes his book and looked off to the distance, looking wary. Are you okay? Yeah. I owe you an apology. A proper one. It's Tyson you owe an apology to. Not that. Roswell breathed in deep, sighing it out again before looking at me proper. Then for what? For assuming I could come back into your life as if nothing happened, like I never left. I gave Roswell a confused look, and I found myself scratching my head. You never left, though. We couldn't hang out, but Dad helped me send you letters, and occasionally sent each other mail, like I just assumed. I scratched my head, sighing out. I guess things changed a bit while you were gone, huh? We sat in silence for a few moments before Roswell spoke again. You know, I think I'm going to miss school. Really? Why? I'm good at school. I'm good at homework and academics. Being top of the class, though. The attention was nice. But, what about getting bullied? Well, no, not going to miss that. If anything, there's something I'm probably a little thankful for. That feels weird saying. That feels weird to say. Feeling grateful I used to Tyson, so I know what to expect moving forward. Roswell rubbed the bridge of his nose, grumbling. I guess what I want to say is the specific reason that I'm jealous. You look at Tyson with such adoration, and for Dean, it's just some awe-filled expression I just can't place. When you look at Orlando, you're so calm and cheery. I took my head and still confused. If anything, it made me wonder how I looked at Roswell. Putting my hate for Tyson aside, I don't understand why you look at him so. That's the sort of look I wanted to earn someday. Well, I chuckled nervously. The smile on my face crept there long before I was conscious of it. I think it's kind of like how you saw me as an older brother. What? Yeah, like, how to put it? As I got older and understood more about what it means to do the right thing, I stood up for him once. Since then, I don't know, he looked out for me, and it felt like I had an older brother. I smiled, thinking back fondly. It was nice, having someone there to someone else just around. Sure, it probably would have come across as him just taking advantage, but he did stuff too. You skirt around what, exactly? He's done a lot, you know. I know. It was my turn to sigh out, and my ears drooped slightly, ashamed. Maybe it wasn't the best thing, but his heart was in the right place, or it was just embarrassing stuff. Like, he ditched school when I was sick just to keep me company, or he managed to get the test answers for something I was freaking out over. Maybe he stole them, he never said. But even outside of school, he checked in and make sure I was okay. He'd take me places on the weekend and show me stuff that he thought was cool. To be honest, he never really asked for anything. He called the shots, but made sure I was cool with it in some way beforehand. That doesn't sound like the bully I remember. Because he's not anymore. Like I said, he's like family now. I chuckled nervously. I wasn't sure how best to put it without sounding corny. You know, I care. I see. What I think I'm getting at is that it's just time. Him being around made that happen. He's been good. It's the same for Orlando, right? He and I hung out so often over the years. He's just been a consistent presence in my life. And Dean? Well, Dean's handsome. Oh, so that's how it is. Wait, no, what I mean, I guess, is that, it's part that, but I'm still trying to figure out the rules and expectations of how to date someone. I like his confidence, at least, and Orlando seems to like pushing me towards him. I do admit, you being a love-struck hyena never gets old, with how flustered you can get sometimes. I chuckled nervously, happy and embarrassed all at the same time. What about Sal and Haas? What do you mean? How do I look at them, or... Right, Sal's sort of the same, as Dean I mean. A look I can't quite place, and Haas... Well, he's hard to place too. It's a positive look, I think. Different, but similar, to the one you give me some, maybe. Haas gives me an odd vibe sometimes, almost like he's, like... Not completely honest, not in a bad way, it's just weird. I think I understand that. He's thrown me for a loop a few times. I like him, though. Oh, you like him, do you? Not like that. Well, I hadn't really considered it like that, at least. I think I like Haas, but just, I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't think it's anything bad either, but why don't you ask him? Ask him what, though? What he might know about the secret room you're looking for. You never know. That... I gave Roswell a look, frowning. Have you been here before, Roswell? What, in this room? No, I mean this mansion itself. Can't say I have. If I have, I'd have told you about it beforehand. Easily. Not just that, but I'd be able to give you more information on the mansion itself, too. Huh. Like I told you, my parents organized this for me. All I said is that I wanted to go out with a bang with my friends, and asked if I had any ideas. And they just... Mansion? Mansion. It wouldn't surprise me if some wealthy client owed one of my parents a favor, or there was something else in play like that. I don't know. Look, everyone has their secrets, Dave. Everyone. For me, I like the ghosts of my past and the skeletons in my closet to stay right where they belong. Out of sight, out of mind. They aren't important to anyone but me, anyway. But as for the mansion, your mission to find a hidden room, I reckon Haas might be the one to ask. But why Haas? Well, it's probably a bit presumptuous, but he's always been pretty, how do I say it? Conscious of his appearance? Over the top? I was going to say genre savvy, but I suppose those aren't wrong either. If there's a hidden room or a secret passage, Haas would probably know where to look. You're probably right. Wish I could be more helpful, but unless you're trying to commune with or otherwise banish a ghost, I'm tapped. It'd be worth asking. Thanks, Roswell. No, thank you for checking in on me. I'll try to get better. I feel I should go and talk to Tyson, maybe. I just need to figure out the best way to do it. If I can help with that, let me know. He's, well, I get it. I do. So, see you at dinner? Yep. I'll let you know if I come up with anything with the search. See you later. Good luck. Oh my god. I'm not getting the hiccups, am I? That would be fucking awful in the middle of recording. Oh my god. I waved to Roswell and left him to his book. I still felt uneasy about a few things, but there wasn't anything I could do about them right now. Just had to stay focused on finding Oz. That's what kept me going. Find Oz, ask questions, put myself at ease of what was happening. Right now, my only lead was to ask Haas. I could ask any of the others, but a suggestion of who to start with was better than picking at random. Haas? I peeked into his room, covering my eyes just on the off chance he was indecent. What are you doing? Are you decent? Nope, stark naked, Dave. Oh, I'm just messing with you. Come in. I shuffled into his room and closed the door behind me, eyeing Haas carefully. So, what brings you here, Dave? So, this is probably going to be a bit of a strange question. Oh, what's up? Have you been here before? Right? You've been here before, right? I stare at Haas, trying to read his expression, but it was hard to tell exactly what he thought of. To the mansion? Well, yeah. Now, why would you be asking something like that? Benson said one of us had been here. Roswell said to ask Haas, given he was likely to know if there was a hidden room. And I realized he was avoiding the question. Haas, have you or haven't you? Maybe. You know, when I started this game, I kind of thought Haas was, like, easily the most boring. But, like, playing, I'm just like, Jesus. He's kind of my favorite, I think. It's currently, like, him and Tyson, so I might eventually have to, like, start Haas's route to see, like, to gauge his character, but like I love his personality. It's so much fun. My eyes narrow on him before. I don't know, would that like upset people? Like I know I did 3 parts were just like Tyson for no reason. And I wonder, like, would that just annoy viewers if I just constantly like hopped around? Because I want to do every route eventually, but I don't know if I feel like I'm the type of person that gets bored doing one route for very long, and I would just like cycle between them. I don't know. I guess I'm weird like that. I think I did that during like Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, where they're like, you can do the routes in any order. And like, yeah, I did Ven's route real quick because, you know, the boy. But like I kind of did Aqua and Terra. Like when I would get bored of playing one, I would go to the other and like bounce between them. So I don't know, I feel like I'm feeling that here. But I guess let me know in the comments if you think that's a good or bad idea. Sadly, I scheduled these videos like a week in advance, so you'll never know. I feel like you know, I could just do that, but would like to know. Help me out, guys. My eyes narrow on him before. By some fluke, I had an epiphany. The library. What about the library? The library. When we first got here, you said there was a library that covered multiple floors. How did you know about that? What, you haven't been there yet? Haas, I have no idea where it is. Can you show me? Ah, well, yeah, I guess I could. You've been there before, so... No, I haven't. With a suit of armor, you've been there. Yeah, and that's not the library. Benson said one of us had been here before. You seem to know more of this room. I can't read it, apparently. You seem to know of this room I can't find, and I'm trying to, so... Alright, you got me. Yeah, I know where it is. You good for me to show you now? I'm ready, but why would you lie about that? When we get there, I'll fill you in, promise. Come on. I followed Haas out of his room, and he led me to the conservatory. Huh? I look around, and there was no way this was the library, and Haas seemed to be aware of it, and I wasn't buying it. So the library. The library. This isn't it. Nope, but we can get there from here. What do you mean? Alright, well, consider it this way. We're in a reading room, right? Right, so books. Exactly. Haas wandered over to a bookcase against one of the walls, leaning against the wall beside it as he continued. And what better source of books, then? A library? Nodding in confirmation, Haas pulled 2 books off the shelf forward as something clicked. I watched in awe as Haas gently slid the bookshelf aside, revealing a corridor beyond. I gulped, realizing why Benson had said that to bring my flashlight with me. It was almost pitch black down there. It's so dark down there. Lights don't work, but come on, I'll show you the library. Haas turned on the lights on his phone, stepping into the corridor with one last look at the conservatory. I followed. You doing all right? Stay close. Don't want you to trip over anything. I shuffled closer and directly bumped into Haas, who had stopped suddenly. He reached back, feeling down my arm until he took a hold of my hand before walking forward, holding his phone in front of him. The corridor must have been long, because we were walking for a bit before we stopped. And why'd we stop? We're here already. I nodded in the darkness. Who knows if Haas was could actually see me or not, but he proceeded forward anyway. The room filled out. Man, what is this? The book, the library area from Bloodborne, with the stupid dart blowers that I hate, and was it Castle Canehurst? Was that the name of it? Yeah. You all are gamers, you know what I'm talking about. The room filled out before us. Bookshelves filled to the brim in some cases and left bare, completely bare in others. A lot of which I could only make out as Haas scanned the room with his phone. Ta-da! The library. Huh? I stepped forward, looking around some more. We were standing on the higher of 2 levels, with the rail stopping me from just falling down to the floor below. It's dark here too, but why? There's no windows either. Nope, it's, well, a private library for sure. But why is it here? How deep are we? Still on the same level as the conservatory. Go down there and you'll be on the same level as the bedrooms. Whoa. Haas and I wandered forward carefully as my eyes tried to adjust to the dark. Kinda cool, huh? But there's no light. Only candles. See? Down there. Haas pointed down to the lower floor where there's a large desk the desk with a few candles set up unlit. Though the only way I could make them out in the dark was because they were bone white against the dark wood. Okay, so the conservatory is the only way to get here? Far as I know. Alright. So, why do you want to come here? Oh, I just... looking for it. But why, though? Not that much here. Only, well... Haas started to lead the way, descending a staircase, guiding me over to a wall. My heart sank as I realized what I was looking at. Wait. Before us looked a very familiar-looking door, right down to the keypad sitting next to it. There's another one? Sure looks like it. This isn't what I was expecting to find. What were you looking for, eh? What were you looking to find here? Unless there's a book, there's nothing here, right? Yeah, you're right. But how did you find this room? How did you know about the books? Have you been here before? Okay, fine. This mansion, yeah, I've been here before. I know it very well. After all, this was where I was supposed to make my first big break as an actor. Wait, really? Yep, didn't realize it until we pulled up, but this is the same place. Confirmed it when I tried the bookcase. Who else knew about this? You having been here before, I mean. Honestly, it's hard to say. Benson would know, if only because he was around when we were setting up. What about the owner? The owner of the mansion? Don't know, never met him. Do you know his name at least? Nope, he was scarce when we were setting up the hidden the microphones and cameras for stuff. Anyways, just assumed he was off somewhere else, given we had free reign to wander around. Damn, okay. So, happy? I guess so. We stood in silence for a few moments before my gaze wandered over to the vault-like door on the wall. So how are you going to do? What are you going to do? Keep this a secret? I don't know. Why are you keeping it a secret still? Especially after, well, about Benson? Yeah, well, yeah. To be honest, it's a few different things. I left a lot of regrets here. Being here again both makes me pumped up as if I was getting another shot, but at the same time, it never got to eventuate. Okay. So, place like this, they're private, at least for now. Places that only I, and I guess you now, can enjoy. Secrets, you know? I nodded slowly, understanding somewhat. I'm sorry, Haas. At least I feel like I should be. I didn't know. I mean, you know I didn't know. It's just, I chuckled quietly. Pulling my gaze to the floor, I leaned back onto the desk, sighing out. At least I was ready for tonight, it seemed. Happy? I think so. Good. Haas, are you okay? There was a few moments of silence before he sighed out and scratching himself from his mane. Just secrets. This whole thing. Can I share another with you? Okay. It's, part of the reason why I moved out here. Admittedly, I'm bisexual, right? Oh, you like girls too? I just like guys. Focus, Dave. Oh, sorry, go on. Anyway, it's the liking guys part that's the problem. Parents are constantly asking me if I have a girlfriend. Mom wants kids, but guys are just a little easier to get along with. Well, I don't know what it's like for lions, but hyena girls are scary. And I just prefer, well, I pointed down, hoping Haas would get the picture. It's not about that, Dave. It's just family stuff, expectations. What, to have a family? Dad said that adopting was always an option. A family is a family no matter what. Oh, Dave, if only. There's certain views about what a family should be that makes it hard. Me liking guys isn't setting a good example for my siblings, for instance. I shook a little, confused. But that doesn't make any sense. Why does that matter? Love is love, isn't it? It'd be nice if that was the case, but I don't know. Haas sighed out and came to stand next to me, leaning on the desk. Just the library. What I just told you, can you keep it a secret for me? Just for a little while. Please? Okay. Only for a little while. We'll show the others soon. I just, if you don't, I will. Especially because I pointed to the door he showed me, looking to Haas to see him nod. And that's fair. If another thing happens like last night, then we'll show everyone right away, yeah? I think that's for the best. Otherwise, what, a couple days? Tomorrow? A couple days. But, give me a chance to get the courage together. Okay. For now, want to get out of here? It's dark. Probably dustier than it needs to be, unless there's something else you need from here. No, I think I'm good. Haas moved to lead the way, making sure the light on his phone was on before making his way towards the stairs. I rushed to catch up to him, hesitating on my approach. I felt like I understood Haas a little better, maybe understanding why he'd keep this under wraps. Nodding to myself, I took a last few steps confidently, shooting Haas a friendly smile. All right, let's go. Up the stairs and back through the dark corridor, Haas guided the way until we were back to the conservatory. I winced as my eyes adjusted to the light. One last thing. Huh? Haas pulled the bookcase back into position. It locked in place with an accompanying click. He then pointed to the two books, tapping them back. These two open it. And to close it, you just move it back. That's it. But here's the major important thing. If you're on the other side and someone closes it, you're stuck. No way to open it from the other side. So what happens if I get stuck? Well, I guess if you're going missing, I'll check here first. Otherwise, just have your phone on you so you can call for help. Does this get used all that often? I'm not sure. I'd assume Benson would know about it too, whether he uses it or not. Who knows? Easy. I'll have my phone on me when I go to visit it. There you go. Now, was there anything else you needed today, Dave? What? So now that I've shown you my secret, you're done? No, well, yes, but what? Did you need a hug? I kinda want to give you a hug. What? Because of before. I felt like I shouldn't have pried. And not only that, but with your family. Without a word, Haas stepped up and hugged me tight, pinning my arms to my side. Oh. As best as I could, I hugged him back, catching a whiff of some strong and tropical, something strong and tropical smelling in Haas's fur. It reminds me of the beach. Is there anything else I could do to help? Nah, it's all right. I just got chill. I just go chill out for a bit, maybe take a cat nap. Haas let me go and wandered over to the door leading out. See you at dinner? Oh, okay. He was gone before I could even wave. Looking out to the window, I saw that there was still some hours left of sunlight left. Hours that I had to fill waiting until it was time to meet Oz. I made my way back to the staircase, sitting at the top of the stairs and looking down into the foyer. What a day. I ran my hand through my fur, feeling tired. Tired enough that I considered taking a nap, which in turn made me remember what Dean was taking one now. Dean had walked in on me sleeping and joined me. Plus, if I was going to be up late tonight, it makes sense that I had a nap so I wasn't falling asleep, right? Convincing myself on the way to Dean's room, I opened the door slowly, peeking in to see him sprawled out on the bed asleep in just his underwear. He had walked into my room already undressed, and there was no way I was going to get into a bed with him fully clothed, not with how damp it'd likely end up in case I drifted off and he drooled all over me. Off came my shirt and I stretched, wandering over to his bed. Dean's clothes were were just dumped in the middle of the floor, seemingly strewn about. I didn't realize he had so many of the same plaid shirt. As I tried to take off my pants. What? Who? I turned to look at Dean, who had woken up, still in a daze trying to make out who I was. His curtains were drawn so the room was darker than normal, and he sighed out. Oh, it's just you, Dave. Almost gave me a heart attack. Everything all right? Oh, yeah, I just thought that you joined me. Yeah, is that all right? Of course, although I don't know how much sleep we'll be doing, you know, given your undressing. Oh, you've seen what I wear to bed. You've even felt it. I placed a hand on his face, pushing him back onto the bed, chuckling. Do you want a cuddle partner and a nap, or should I get my clothes back on? No, you're perfect. Come join me and we can get a couple hours in before I have to get dinner sorted. Dean shuffled aside, making sure I had enough space to lay down. He stayed out on his side, head propped up on his elbow as I mirrored him. So, good day so far? It's been good. How's your nap been? Fine, until you woke me up. Sorry about that. It's fine. But how are you doing? How are you going to make up for it? Dean placed a hand under my chin, scratching gently before moving that hand back over to my neck and letting it rest there just above my shoulder. I don't know, maybe, well, I placed my hand on his chest, rubbing it and scratching gently. They dipped lower still, and his belly continued towards the waistband of his underwear. Yeah? I leaned forward and snapped the wristband of his underwear back, holding his gaze. I threw caution to the wind after a moment of hesitation and felt him up through the fabric. Dean breathed in suddenly, rumbling in his chest right up until I pulled my hand away. I think that's enough for now. Wait, what? But that's payback for yesterday. But I guess I could let you cuddle me and get a kiss. Aw. I guess I had that one coming. I planted a quick kiss on his nose before settling in. Tomorrow night, though. Maybe. Oh? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe start with being naked, and I don't know. Works for me. You set the pace, and we'll go from there, alright? Alright. Come on, get comfy, and let's get a nap in before dinner. It doesn't take too long for Dean to get to sleep, and after listening to him for a while, I drift off. The next thing I know, Dean's phone went off, some alarm that he'd set so that he didn't sleep too far into the afternoon. We both got up and got dressed and head downstairs for dinner. I entered the dining room for dinner in a daze. My mind was going a mile a minute. I remember Dean wandered over at some point and sat a plate of pasta in front of me, kissing me on the cheek, but I didn't respond. Maybe he was just worried. I thought I was hungry, but as it got closer to the meeting with Oz, I found I had less and less of an appetite. I ate half and spent the rest of the dinner playing with what was left with my fork. Dave, you alright? Huh? You've been spacing out all dinner. This isn't... Well, okay, maybe it is a little on brand for you, but not this much. I'm fine, maybe just tired. I scrunched my nose up, wiping my face. I feel like it's more than just tiredness. After all, I was there when you had a nap. No, no, just, I guess yesterday is still weighing on my mind. I'll be alright. I looked to Roswell and flashed him a smile, doing the same to Dean. They looked at one another before shooting me a concerned look. Well, if you're sure, if you need to talk though, feel free to grab either of us, alright? I nodded to them and they backed off, saying something to one another, only once. What the fuck? They were close enough to the kitchen that I couldn't hear them. When all was said and done, I headed back to my room. I showered, changed into a fresh pair of clothes, almost as if I was dressing to impress. I was nervous. Was this what going on a date was like? My phone was in my hand, constantly checking if it was time to head out or not. In the back of my mind, I wondered if this was a mistake after all. Was I just about to be marching to my death? Should I back out? As I lay on the bed waiting, all I could think of was if I'd survive the night and see my friends again in the morning. Not just my friends, but also, well, I sighed and shuddered breath, wiping the corner of my eyes. I had to steel myself. I could do this. And then it was time. Carefully, I left my room, checking if the coast was clear. I had my flashlight in my hand, primed with the new batteries thanks to Benson. Not only that, but seeing the state of the library itself told me that I was going to need it. Slipping into the conservatory, I took another look around. No one else was here. No one was wandering around. I was free to continue undisturbed. Looking at the bookcase, I remembered Haas warning me before, patting my pocket to make sure I had my phone. There was no telling what could happen, so I wanted to be prepared. Okay, Dave, you can do this. Time to meet Oz. The two books I needed to pull to open the passage looked at a lot more obvious now that I knew which one they were. Once I pulled them, I heard a click and gently pushed the bookcase aside. It was heavy and moving aside slowly, but I pushed it just enough to clear the gap to enter the dark corridor. I stood there in the dark for the couple moments, bracing myself. It was a heavy darkness, different from one that I was used to, but it felt similar all the same. Turning my flashlight, I wondered, keeping it trained low in case there was something on the ground I could potentially trip on. As I entered the library, I looked down to the lower floor. The candles on the desk were lit, signaling that someone else had been here recently, if they weren't still here. Down the stairs, I wandered over to the desk, keeping my eyes peeled for anyone lingering just out of sight. If I was going to get jumped, I realized that I was thoroughly unprepared to fend off an attack. Hello? I flicked the beam of my flashlight around, trying to catch a glimpse of literally anyone else. As the light landed on the vault-like door, I froze, watching as it opened with a metallic creak. My throat was suddenly dry, making me gulp. But there was a pit in my stomach, growing now, a lingering dread or a worry that something was about to go wrong. Roswell's joke from days ago echoing through my mind. Oz, is that you? The darkness lingering on the other side of the door, to the point where I wondered if my flashlight was broken. I edged forward, legs shaking, reaching towards the threshold of the door before a shadow moved, making me squeak at the top and drop my flashlight. Oh, no. Please don't kill me. Dave? I almost shrieked, keeping my eyes closed and arms up to protect my head and face. I heard something shuffle around near me before I felt the butt of my flashlight nudge me. Take your flashlight, boy. I carefully opened my eyes, taking a flashlight back and lifting it to illuminate who was speaking to me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've seen this character before. Like, not in the game, but like, online and shit. Huh? Have a seat. I'm sure you have some questions. Are you, very well. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is, Oswin? Is that how that's pronounced? Oswin Hammond? We never figured out how that was supposed to be pronounced, wasn't it? I remember being confused in, like, episode 1 with that. Youngest of the 3 Hammond siblings, but you may know me as Oz. I searched the old boar's face, curious questions running through my mind. Oswin. Are we really going to start calling him Oswin? Like, Oz sounds so much more theatrical. But whatever. Wandered over to the side of the desk closest to the candle, sitting down. Oh, nice to meet you. I know, Dave. Sit down. Well, okay, sir. I sat in the chair opposite him, eyes flicking across to the candles before looking him in the eye. I'm sure you have many questions, most of which I'll answer for you soon. I'll get the obvious ones out of the way first. Okay. After that, you can ask me whatever you like freely, but I'll tell you now that I'm not going to waste my time answering insane questions that are irrelevant to what's going on, understood? Yes, sir. Furthermore, it behooves me to tell you the truth where I can, but understand that I too have my secrets. Seems fair. But what if you're the bad guy? What do you mean? Well, if you don't tell me everything, then who's to say you're not just, making me trust you just so you can kill me later? The question hangs in the air for a moment. Oswin's gaze focused on me. Boy, if I wanted you dead, I'd have disposed of you a long time ago. There's less sense in warning you of danger and the like if I, myself, am the one behind the deaths of your friends. I guess that makes sense. Now, where to begin? Sorry, but can I ask something real quick? What is it? Why are you wearing a lab coat? Are you a doctor? I was, once upon a time. Not anymore. What happened? That in and of itself is a long story. As much as I love stories, that one isn't like one of your child-friendly ones I'm so fond of. Oh. My area of expertise and speciality was from that. This is a word. Phone, where are you? I need you this moment. Okay. I feel like this playthrough is just me discovering new words. Is this just says pharmaceutical? Is that what this is? And I just don't know how that word is, like...
Pharmaceutical.
It is just pharmaceutical, and I just never knew how it was spelled. I'm incredible. And drug development. Testing, in other words, I developed vaccines. That sounds good. Why'd you give it up? My license was revoked when a test went bad. Of 100 subjects, 99 died. I tense up, not wanting to ask what I was thinking. Sadly, Oswin seemed to know exactly where my head was, and I paled when he told me. It's ridiculously small for a proper clinical trial, but for what we were testing, it was hardly legal. Because of my arrogance, I was responsible for 99 of those deaths, all children too. Don't worry about it, Dave. What? Was the medicine you were testing? A cure-all vaccine, a miracle elixir for everything and anything. Cancer, organ failure, HIV, you name it. Probably one of my best works. But Oswin gaze narrowed on me slightly, making me go quiet before I could continue. But it didn't work. I botched my calculations along the way and created something quite fatal instead. So if you were a doctor, what do you do now? Nothing. Shy of enjoying children's stories and reading up on fungus, I live comfortably doing whatever I feel like, which admittedly is very little. But why do you still wear a coat then? Are you still doing experiments and stuff? Well, maybe he just likes the aesthetic, Dave. Or having the extra pockets is nice. That seemed to hit a nerve when Oswin gaze narrowed slightly. Funny enough, yes, I do. My lab is still in my house, hidden away given what's in there. Chemicals and poisons that aren't kept securely away from easy access, that are, whatever. Not to mention some samples of diseases and bacteria for development purposes. I shift uneasily in my chair. The boar opposite of me had poisons and chemicals just about. The vision I had of Dean flashed in front of my mind. Poisoned. Was that what killed him? Something that came from Oswin's lab? We're getting off track. Okay, sorry. Let's discuss the vault itself. The three of us made it. My older brother, may he rest in peace, myself, and my older sister. But what is it? It is, as the name suggests, a storing place, although truthfully, it's closer to a containment unit. So there's something inside? What's in there? Benson apparently is giving us the code to open it when we find all the medals. Ah, yes, Father's collections of medals. I'm not at the liberty to say what's in there, and I have no intention of telling you anyway. All I can promise is that, while not dangerous, it would be best if that door was never opened. I frowned, confused as to what he meant. As I pondered it over, I noticed he was watching me think it through with a slight smug. I pouted, mumbling to myself. Couldn't be that bad. Perhaps. Or it could be something that could end the world as we know it. Okay, but it just holds things, right? Correct. But then why when I use it? Ah, that. I was getting to that. It was never intended to be just a quarantine room, but more an attempt at something more, a collective effort to make the world better. My older siblings were more keen on designing and theorizing about it. Speculating was something more they dabbled in, when I'd much rather have something more quantifiable. But how was I going to change the world? How was it going to change the world for the better? Morphic resonance. The blank stare I gave him in return must have disappointed him, stopping him from getting revved up and about the tangent he was about to go on. Put another way, making a better use of the inherent survival instinct installed into every living thing on the planet. But I haven't seen myself die. Just what? I saw Dean dead, looked like a poisoning. A poisoning? Where? Oswin's tone was just an echo, almost in disbelief. Right, in the greenhouse. What did you put in the keypad? Death cap. And then Benson. Oswin tensed up, rolling his shoulders briefly as I trailed off. Go on. Shoot, but it didn't seem right. I used the word betrayal for that one. But if this was meant to be a thing from my survival instinct, why wasn't I seeing myself? Perhaps I wasn't clear. The theory was that it'd rely on morphic resonance, but, well, you've seen how that works. Have I? Been in danger? Indirectly, the concept revolves around trauma, surviving or survivors using traumatic experience to have different behaviors in similar situations moving forward. So while you've not been in danger as such, you've suffered through those events. But they never happened. As Reginald would say, not this time around. I don't get it. Nor do I. Nor do I expect you to. It's a load of rubbish to me, to be frank. Bah, timelines, alternate realities, rubbish. I don't understand, I'm sorry. With a sigh, Oswin took a moment to collect his thoughts before he explained. Then the reason the Vault showed you those things, and regained, and again, consider this all just a theory and hypothesis, is because you've lived through these experiences before, in another lifetime perhaps. Those words must have some significance to you, to how you lived through those experiences, how those events shaped your life after they happened. Along with a sound played at the right frequency, it's supposed to trigger the reaction, and therein lies the problem. There seems to be a lot of problems, I think. Agreed, but I'll state the specific one. As the only person present that knows how the system behind the vault operates, I'm the only one that can program those passwords in. As I assure you, I'm only programmed too, neither of which I'll tell you, as they're the codes to the door itself to open, plus something else. But what? I stared at him, dumbfounded. But that's impossible. How else would the word get in there? The question hung in the air without an answer for a while before Oswin replied, his tone quiet and uncertain. I don't know. Oh. Now, I think it's your turn, Dave. Oswin's voice was lower, taking an air of seriousness while he was very no nonsense. Okay, no nonsense before. I felt the tone of the conversation get heavy from how he positioned himself. I've said what I needed to say. If you have any questions, I'm all ears. I gulped, looking in Oswin's in the eyes. He stared right back at me through his glasses, watching me carefully. This was it. In the off chance I never had a chance to talk to him again, I had to make sure I asked something that might be important. Okay. I was only going to tell him that they're going to tell things that were relevant. All I had to do was ask, but what was considered relevant? We're gonna question. Fuck. Okay. Fuck. How does this work? I don't know. Passwords. Dave. Yes? There was a sigh accompanying his immediate reply, his expression shifting towards one of boredom. Please try again and think of things that are relevant, or at least think about what might be relevant here. Oh, right, gotcha. I fidget in the chair, wondering if I've said something wrong. You best that's something else, Dave. Oh, I don't want to scroll all the way back. But I want to... He said his brother's name was Reginald, right? Reginald... You seem to be struggling. Can you blame me? There's so many things I could ask. So many ways to ask. I grumble, huffing out through the nose. Oswin seemed to be holding back a smirk as he looked me over. How about this, then? Maybe you should ask of things I talked about just before. Perhaps start with my interests. But why would I do that? If anything, it could buy you some time. Doctor? Oswald keeping on counted me. Boy. Yes? Try again. Fuck. I mean, if this is what we gotta do, this is what we gotta have to do, right? Reginald, yeah, okay. Death caps, keypad. maybe... Wait, I have my notepad. Morphic resonance. I spelled that wrong. Amazing. Resonance. Okay. His interests, though. I'm not at liberty to say I was promised that. Oh, the vaccine, right? What is... His license... I don't know how to spell vaccine, though. Okay. Question? We can't talk all night, Dave. Damn it. That's why you'd be best to ask something about what's immediately relevant. But how am I meant to know what that is? Fair, but still, at least keep that in mind before asking your next question. Morphic resonance. I am. Maybe you should ask me something I talked about just before. Perhaps start with my interests. What does that mean? What the fuck? I don't know if it's like my word. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to type in like a one-word thing or like if I have to word it as a question, which sounds insane. So I think I just have to type in like a single word, but... Boy, I wanted you dead, blah, 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 blah. Now, where to begin? What is it? Roar. So he likes stories, maybe. Pharmaceutical. Did I even spell that right? Jesus Christ. Actually, maybe... Maybe. Yeah, let me return. But it's just mushrooms, right? What's the... Yeah, okay. Now that's a subject I do enjoy. Mycology is a great thing. But it's just mushrooms, right? What's so great about mushrooms? Perhaps it's just a boar thing. Oh, yeah. Roswell apparently knows a bunch about picking mushrooms. He even took Dean in foraging a couple days ago. And how'd that go? Fine, I guess. They went picking for... I'd guess patty straws. How do you know? When Dean took me out, we went for Jacko. No, what was that mushroom? Given how common they are in the forest, it was either going to be those or whatever. You're not going to find much else aside from those two, and there are much more deadly kin. Not even truffles? Oh, truffles are out there too, but you'll never find them. You'll need a strong sense of smell along with knowing what to look for to even have a chance. If we were if you were that keen, perhaps Roswell could help you. Racist? Amazing. What makes you think he'd know where to look? It may be racist, but boars have a sense has I like how they say racist here and then like in Echo they say speciesist. I don't know, that's kind of funny. You could all almost assume we were bred for this sort of thing, and you'd be essentially correct. But that doesn't mean Roswell is right. Well, no, that's true. There's every chance that he doesn't even have the best sense of smell out of the you and your friends. Wait, what? There's a slight smirk on his face as he says that. Just the hunch I have. Question. Pharmaceutical. There was nothing but silence, but the bore opposite for me for days. There was a chuckle nervously. I chuckled nervously, realizing after a while that he wasn't going to respond. Metals? I never really cared for the metals. If I'm speaking candidly, seemed like a waste of embellished symbols of precious metal for no reason other than to it look nice. Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. Do they mean something important, though? Not as far as I'm aware. Just fanciful things to state the want of someone is too much money, yeah. But then why search for them? Why do anything in a game? You just do it because it's required, and you do it as long as you find it enjoyable. Beyond that, there's no obligation. If my siblings were able to take questions, I'd recommend them. But given they aren't, I'm out of luck, huh? Indeed. Question. Sibling. Oh, wait. I spoke up for a moment and I saw his expression hinting that I was off the mark. Let me try something else. All right, I'm all ears. Um. Where's the conversation we just had about? Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Maybe? Come on, return. Who do you blame me? You know, I think I've been recording for an hour and a half. Yeah, I'm gonna stop it here. Okay, and I'll think up some other things for this later. Okay, okay. And if I can't think of anything else, then we'll just stay silent and be stupid idiots. Um, and I am thinking of maybe starting Haas's route, see if I like that, because I don't know. I kind of get tired of Dean's bullshit because I'm not really into it. But I guess that's why I started Tyson's route. And then Tyson got really weird, and I don't know if that's just like if that's going to be every character or you know. I still really like the game. Like that's not a deal breaker for me. It's just rather just like, oh man, I don't want to sit here for like hours at a time every night, like shifting through that if that's what I'm gonna get. That's why I like the idea of like just bouncing around, so I at least get different flavors. I'm not leading with just like Dean being super horny every scene we're together. Like Jesus, not even Leo from Echo was like that. Okay, so he was, but you know, I like Leo, so that's different. But yeah, we'll see you around.